Hello, everyone, and welcome in. We're here for the 2023 Shelly Sharpe Memorial presented by Spinners on the Green. We're at the Vista del Camino course. Few adjustments to the course, also a few adjustments to the pars that we'll see on the FPO side of things. Excited to bring you this action as it's a Friday morning, round number one. And we've got a great card lined up for you. But let's take a look at hole one, 284 feet. There is a triple mando that you must navigate through. OB now lines the left side of the fairway all the way around the backside. And anything beyond that wall is also out of bounds. Jennifer Allen, of course, we've known and seen her for many years as she's moved to Arizona, so we see her more frequently in Arizona competitions. Second on the box, also hailing out of Arizona, Hannah Stefanovich. Next, we have Sarah Isaac out of Phoenix. And rounding out our card, playing with her first competitive sanctioned round in tournament with her new sponsor, Maria Oliva.
Ladies, have a great round.
From that position, pretty much forced to just lay up the way the tree gets in your way, and we can see similar for Hannah. Talk about a double bark, huh? Huh? See what I did there? That one just came to me. Maria. Good. Firm bit on the left side, but doesn't get it to drop. And opening up the tournament with a birdie. Great kickoff to the 2023 season for Jennifer Allen. And we'll talk about it throughout the round, but some of the holes have changed out here. This, of course, being one of them in particular. And it's not so much that the tee or the pin changed, just the fact that it's been made a little more difficult with the out of bounds. That's at Circle's Edge. We head over to hole two, which did change in that it's been pushed back, 30 or 40 feet to the 415-foot distance. Normally, you're trying to get underneath those trees, land right about here, and instead, you've got about 40 feet more to go, and same obstacle, some low-hanging branches there. I feel like if you're going to miss anywhere, missing off to the left side likely will give you a more open look at the basket. Jen hoping to push past those branches on that left side.
Nice pool, Hannah.
Center of the fairway for Hannah. Sarah comes into this event with an 884 rating. I don't think her career has been too long in disc golf, if I recall. She's been just playing, or at least a PDGA member, since 2020. 36 total events in her career. She has experienced quite a bit of success here locally in her early goings. Maria's approach is short and to the right. Think back to meeting Maria in Texas, I believe in December, about 7 or 8 years ago. Of course, we knew that she was going to be a superstar and continues to grow and thrive on the national and worldwide tour. Excited to see what she can do this year. Here's Sarah. So Jen looks to have been pretty open on that far left side. Gives it a long jumper look, but she's going to have to settle for a par at best. This is Maria from Circle's Edge. And although she got just a link or two of chain, it looked like it carried quite a ways and then doesn't make the comebacker. So some early struggles here on the green of 2. Hole 2's got to feel a little bit like a bonus birdie in our FPO division. We'll see if any stats possibly back that up. Yeah, we didn't see any birdies here during this first round. And hole 3, as it's kind of off just in the distance over at about the 3 o'clock mark on your screen. Very similar hole. It's 380 feet, has similar, maybe a few less obstacles to it, but plays to that hillside, and a big swooping hyzer from right to left could possibly get you there, but 381 is going to take every bit of a pull that you have. Correction, 360 actually, so a little bit shorter, but you have the culvert on the right-hand side. That's out of bounds. Left-hand side shouldn't come into play unless you really release early. Left-hand side sidewalk, that is.
Push.
I'll give Jen a look, but a little bit short.
There's a pool. Let's go. Come on.
Anything but the culvert. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I believe that's Hannah's fiance, Nick Newton, calling for anything but the culvert.
Drop really quick.
Oh, does that sit down? It looks like it's heading left side sidewalk, early release, and that's going to be out of bounds. She'll take it from there with penalty.
Rip. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Maria pushing toward the culvert, but up and over it. She'll have a decision to make. See how aggressive she wants to get on that downhill putt.
There you go. Great shot.
And Sarah with a solid approach that should leave her for an easy tap-in bogey. And it's just one of those awkward areas over on that right-hand side. You have that tree to contend with. It's downhill, and you're putting to an elevated basket. It's just no problem for Hannah, though, on the comebacker. Jen up on the right side. And after the double tap, not enough to get it to drop in, so she'll have to settle for the par. Meanwhile, Sarah's in for bogey. And Maria should be tapping in for her par as well. Big thanks to our friends at the Distinguished Doodle. They've got dog and pet care products, shampoos, conditioners, all made with a little extra love and effort, as the owners have a background in skincare products. So make sure you check out the Distinguished Doodle. We've got plenty of dog and pet lovers here that I know mix into disc golf. The disc golf guy sent you. Here's Jen.
Nice.
Trying to get the late skip toward the pin. Often we talk about players trying to go out and around that last pine tree. That is a really big pull. This hole playing at 381, and if you're taking that route, you're probably throwing at 415, 420, maybe even 430 to get that full play around it. You see Maria come up hitting essentially the center of the tree. Falls to the ground, though. However, if you cut it off too much and you go to the left side, you can easily find the OB. However, Sarah, right in the middle. Hannah will have that look left for par. That just wasn't hard enough out of the hand of Oliva. Needed a little more firm release or snap to it to get there. So Jen, not quite pin high, but still a long look. So Hannah will likely have a bogey. Here's Maria to save par, and that's going to be just short off the cage. Temps in the mid to low 50s out here on a Friday late morning. If you're from that area, you're definitely talking about how chilly it was. And the winds are relatively calm at this point. A little later in the day, we actually have the winds pick up considerably for a lot of the MPO cards, but the winds relatively calm at this point. Big thanks to our friends at Grip EQ. Also, I know a primary sponsor of one Jennifer Allen as well. Here we are on 5. Now, this hole is the same that we've seen in terms of what the MPO players will play. However, they consider this a par 4. It's been pushed back beyond these 2 trees, and you must navigate through the center of them. Otherwise, you are in danger then of, well, missing a Mando. So you must go through the center of those 2 trees. Or split those 2 trees. I guess you're not going through the center of the tree itself. Nice, low, flat release. Right up the middle for Sarah. No complaints there.
Come on, hide her.
That is too wide. That's going to miss the right side Mando tree that's placed over there. That's the one you typically, or the only one you really have to worry about typically before they move this basket back to this longer pin position.
Sit.
And Maria is going to come up just a few feet short of the Mando line. So Hannah from the first drop zone has laid up. She's hopefully looking at a 4. Sarah, on the other hand, able to lay up from there and should be looking at a birdie 3. And same should go for Jen. And I guess I was mistaken. Maria did go past this left side tree, so she went to the drop zone. And we'll have that tap in for the par 4. Hannah is in for the 5. And you also see just off in the distance, that is the pin for hole number 14. They've actually shortened that hole. They made this hole longer, and rather than having these 2 greens that close to each other, they shortened hole 14 by about 40 or 50 feet. So that will be another one of the changes we'll see later. And birdies for both Sarah along with Allen. We head over to hole 6. Same configuration. However, this is considered a par 5, 783 feet. OB on that left side. Also OB on the right. And then for this year, they have made the green that much smaller. It was at least at the 40, maybe 45 feet for the previous few years. This year, it looks to be just outside of the 10 meters. So a very, very tight green to go on top of this 783-footer. I believe this is the longest hole on the course.
Right, come on. Nice pull, Sarah. Nice
Well
shot.
done. Well done.
Maria gonna opt for a flex, and if that stays clear of the tree, that's really good positioning for Oliva. And speaking of positioning, this is our first time ever.
Pull, Hannah.
Tyler had reached out to me, said that he's in the area and would like to possibly join the camera crew. And this is Tyler's first ever round of competitive disc golf that he's filming for a channel. And so I, first of all, want to say thank you to him as he was able to come out here and take on some FPO bonus coverage. And as he said, he learned a lot in this first round, and he's going to continue to get better through rounds 2 and 3. So far, I've been very impressed with what he's recorded. He is done a number of sports and later said disc golf is by far the hardest thing he's ever had to film. So, Tyler, I really appreciate your efforts and looking forward to having you on the team whenever we can. And that's going to be way left side out of bounds for Isaac, unfortunately.
Come on, baby. Nice.
Eventually curls back there for Allen. And I can't give Tyler all the love. We also had Spicy Boy out here this weekend. My buddy Kyle. Kyle I met at this course during the Phoenix Ladies Open a couple of years ago, and he's also taken to becoming a cameraman for the channel when I'm in the area. So big shout out to Kyle, who hustled around all weekend as well. We got a ton of golf, MPO and FPO action, and it wouldn't have been possible for the quick releases without those two gentlemen helping out.
Nice shot.
Looks like that dog was going to get some Distinguished Doodle products. Good move. Kind of that awkward positioning where you're not really practical to run at the putt due to the branches and the limbs hanging in her way. So that's just going to be an easy pitch up, trying to walk away stress-free. Oh, it just slides out for Sarah. Hole 6 is a par 5 and still averaged 0.5 above par. So it averaged 5.5 during round number 1. Came in as the second most difficult hole on the course, only to be topped by the next hole, hole 7. So if you're mentally prepping yourself for a section of the course and you're thinking about where to lay up, where to attack, holes 6 and 7 have to be in your mind thinking, okay, these are the two most difficult holes on the course. No problems for Jen, though. She's in for the easy birdie.
I started playing disc golf with my family when I was 8 years old. When I was 16, I got my first job as a cook at a bowling alley, and that's when I made my first batch of beef jerky. As I got better at throwing, I also got better at making beef jerky. Everyone told me they loved my jerky. After 15 years of making my beef jerky as a hobby, I decided to make it available to everyone. Double G Craft Jerky. Give it a try. You're gonna love it.
He's not wrong. You're going to love it. They've got a ton of different flavors. And hot boom sauce, I always talk about being my favorite. As we're on hole 7, it's a par 5, so it's increased by 1 in terms of the par. But more importantly than that, there's going to be an island green that you'll see. You see the white line there. Well, that's going to now have a set of wall barrier, so to speak, around it. And you must land on the island anytime you're throwing short of the second sidewalk. So if you go, or I should rephrase that. Once you go over the second sidewalk, the only safe place you can land is the island. That's a better way to word that. And right up the middle, perfect pull for Hannah. Sarah trying to keep it low. That was
Right.
thankfully timed to be after her throw. And Oliva releasing. It stayed low. So at this point, Hannah looking for just the layup, just short of the sidewalk. That's going to still be considered inbounds. Once she goes over the sidewalk on the next throw, that's when you must land inside the island green. And she's gone over the sidewalk but didn't get all the way to the green. So we're seeing that she's playing the strategy. Looks like Jen Allen is opting for the layup as well. She's got the power. She definitely could have went for it, but she thought the smarter play was just to simply lay it up. And that doesn't find the island, so Maria's going to go to a drop zone. And easily on the island. Hannah just dissecting hole 7. Oh, and Jen's gone deep of the island. So after laying up, now she's second guessing her previous play. Yeah, you got to stick that island from about 150 feet. Game plan, strategy, frustration, all part of disc golf, right? Again, holes 6 and 7 both averaged 5.5. A half stroke over par. Both of them very different challenges. Considering hole 7 here is 140 feet shorter than the previous hole. But this island definitely adds a few extra strokes and a little bit of a additional mental stress, that's for sure. Unless you're Hannah. Tap in birdie. Big thanks to all of my Patreon supporters and subscribers. Truly, coverage of some of these other events and extra coverage even while I'm there wouldn't be possible without all of you who support me via Patreon. Please, there's a link in the description if that interests you. Hole 8, 360 feet, just about 300 feet to clear the water, playing downhill.
Come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby.
Hannah recognizes it's not going to flip, and it's been made a donation. I think there's another event where I've asked it, but I love hearing it. What are you throwing here? Let's call it relatively calm. Sarah likes it. What disc of choice are you going with here? About 300 to clear the water, maybe 310. Downhill.
Nice shot.
What are you throwing? Put that in the comments. That's what I need to know.
Drops it.
Jen out and over and just left of the pin.
Trust it. Trust it. Sit. Oh, okay.
Hannah flirting with the deep side sidewalk, but apparently she's going to be safe. Fortunately, she doesn't convert from there. Oliva, birdie luck. Just off the front, and we're starting to hear the wind pick up as we're here on this very exposed backside of the course. Solid putt, great birdie. Hole 8 averaged 3.67. Just 3 birdies on the day, and you just saw 2 of them. Jen Allen, Sarah Isaac, both taking the birdie. Sammy Keddington picking up the other birdie. And wow, the winds have really picked up here just in the last few minutes. Big shout out to the sponsors, not only sponsors, but spotters, helpers, volunteers, spinners on the green, and everyone that makes this event possible. And go enjoy a beverage or a little bit of food over at Duke's when you're done. 19th hole, as we like to call it. Hole 9 has a different tee pad for our FPO division. They play from down on the flat, so it's basically a straight ahead shot, just about 100 meters. And the sidewalk is still out of bounds on that right side with, of course, the water on the left side. Great looking shot by Maria.
Nice, Hannah. Stop. Do it. Woo.
And Hannah's on the dance floor. I gotta thank my peeps, my good friends over at First Light, Boyd, Dan, Robin, helped setting me up for the week here of coverage, taking care of me as gracious hosts when I roll into town. I really appreciate it. Hannah just off the front. In fact, they hosted a little gathering on one of the nights, as they typically do, and sounds like we had a great disc golf crew and set of people over there enjoying the time. Maria in for birdie. Big thank you again to the Patreon supporters and you subscribers. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, but thank you. The hospitality that I receive in Arizona is just one of the many reasons that keeps me coming back for coverage. Jen's going to finish the front 9 on a high note. That's a birdie. She's 4 under. She's going to have a pretty solid front 9 when it's all said and done. She's running into camera people. Solid front 9 for Jen. We're going to see how everyone else finishes in the back 9. Thank you for joining. Again, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment so that we can possibly pull your name for a free drawing. I've got Double G Jerky and other discs and things to give away. I'm the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you in the back 9.